Good morning. Give me a second to find this feed. I want to do a really fast video on crystals and gridding because someone was asking me some questions on the wall here. Give me a second to find it. Good morning. I'm doing coffee before work. I just did a good cleansing on my house. I'll wait till a couple people get on here. Give me a second to share it out. Good morning. I'm going to talk grids real quick. Give me a second to share this out. I like this group because we can share the stuff out. So we have a lot of incoming energy too. I'll talk about that real fast. I'm doing my usual break before work. I wasn't feeling like getting up today. Someone asked me this morning, what's the difference between solar and lunar energy? I'm real tuned into either. So we've been going through these ascension energy shifts and we're getting hit with a lot of solar type of radiation type energy right now. It's much different. When I think of the moon energy, it's more about the intuitive, the unconscious is a totally different kind of energy. What's happening right now with this incoming solar, what energy that's hitting us is it is active, it's hitting our DNA and activating us. So it's a much different type of energy. While the moon can make people purge, it can shine a light, amplify anything already going wrong in your life, not going good, right? It can be like a feeling amplifier of all sorts too. This solar energy is having much different effects on our body right now. I'm finding I drink so much water. You guys know I'm the one who's like, drink more water anytime there's a space storm. I drink so much water. I'm feeling real dehydrated right now. I had to really think about it if I was even going to have coffee. And I'm drinking so much water. So it tells me that a lot of people tend to get dehydrated in this energy, and when that happens, it's kind of like the effect of chemtrails. It just lowers your frequency. You could be more irritable, grumpy, anxiety, level 500, things like that. We need a lot of water to handle this ascension energy right now. Some people could be having ascension kind of symptoms. We're getting ready for the equinox. Look at it like, I just like to look at it like in here in our school, that each season is like a semester. We're getting ready for the spring equinox. We're going to shift energies in a type of way. We're going to kind of be shifting our focus from purging and releasing back to renewal and growth and creation and things like that. So, you can just look at it like we're leveling up this week. I put up a real good astrology report on my business page. It says this is a week to level up. The thing about life here, and it's not just with the ascension or the ascension energies. The thing about life here is that we get individual lessons based on what we need when we need it. My life might look much different than someone else's going through this journey we call life on so many levels. So it's the same with ascension. We're getting upgraded as fast as our bodies can handle it. But I mean, you can really tell. I always say, look at a picture of you from a year ago to now, and you can see that you're making a transformation on every level, not just energetically. So, what is this energy good for? Well, it's magic. Perfect area, right? We're talking about magic. To me, when I think of magic, and it's not so much that area that I'm so much into, but I'm very comfortable with it and familiar with it, because what am I doing, with the energy that I'm channeling and harnessing? That is magic to me. It's encoding energy into, with my intent in different ways as needed. That is the core of magic and what it is, energy and intention, I keep saying. So we have this crazy energy hitting the planet with this ascension. You can tell the ascension energies are changing. I said 2 days ago on the Schumann resonance, because we're in our rest period this week. The energy is supposed to be dead and calm. We're supposed to be resting, right? Yeah, right. Okay, so but based on the energies that are kind of incoming in the Schumann resonance, you could tell that these are extraterrestrial energies hitting our planet too. You can tell these are galactic. They are not, they're from an outside source. Like with the energies hitting the planet too. Some people, so I think of this energy as a mix of solar and galactic energy. Some people can't handle galactic energy. I had one of my students come back to me and said, I did blue star healing on someone and it seemed too intense for them, they said. I was like, yeah, you can tell that by the space storms, because some people aren't handling the storms that good. Hi, Patricia. rough night's sleep. I haven't been sleeping good this week at all, which is abnormal for me. I usually sleep really good, but I'm hearing a lot of the same complaints. A lot of these ascension energies are coming in the night. When I look at, I'm in your future, a lot of you, if you're in the US. I'm in your future. What time is it? It was 11:44 when I turned the video on, so it's almost noon here. I'm in your future. I'm trying to get a good gauge on. We're gonna make a collective shift today, and if you know me, I'm trying to see what time of day that will happen, so people can be on point and maybe thinking about better things. The best thing you can do today is be daydreaming about probabilities that you might think are impossible, anything like that, because we're gonna make a collective timeline jump. I would predict sometime between, you know, depends where you live too, but sometime at least between noon and 8 o'clock today, and that's universal time, I believe. I've been trying to get a good time zone. It changes with time zones. I believe that's universal time. So, you know, the energies are really going to go through the roof and spike, and we could go up to K5, but I don't believe it. I'll believe that when I see it, but it always excites me when they predict it, right? So they're predicting some crazy energy. Makes me excited. We'll probably hit K3. So we're getting, as the earth is making her own spiritual journey, just like us, like how we're holding more and more energy in our body, hopefully we're vibrating higher and higher and holding more and more energy. So is the earth. I was talking about in my mystery school group how the earth is a spiritual being that is very service of others and very evolved on her own spiritual journey. And there's a lot of power from that earth energy we're finding, especially, you know, for the things that we're trying to do with healing and manifesting. Someone asked me, how do you grid? Well, I just had to come in here to pick up my grid from last night. I like feathers, right? I like things like feathers, rocks, stones to add to my grids. You can use crystals, you can use candles. Everyone thinks, like, I watch all these witch movies. My husband watches a lot of them. Netflix. I watch a lot of Netflix witch shows. And, you know, they think that they need a spell book from their ancestors and they need some kind of magic formula and all this, you know, crazy kind of stuff. You are the magic. That's what we forgot. That your thoughts, your words, pure magic going into this continuum. Your intent is so powerful in this place. So when I grid, and I like to use any kind of crystals, there's no right way to do it. Like, there's no right rocks to use. So I don't know how to name all my crystals. I'm very drawn to them. I'm not a crystal expert. I'm not going to be able to name them what they are. I go for ones that I'm drawn to. Personally, with my job as a healer, I'm very drawn to clears like selenite and quartz for any kind of dream work. I have to grade my whole bed with selenite. It will help you bring back your dreams and have that intent when you're doing this. Your intent is everything that will program these crystals. They can be programmed in any way that we want for healing. I'd like to remind you that weed is also a crystal, and that is why it is amazing for healing, because it is programmable energetically. So you want to put, when I'm making a grid, I usually make them for the same thing. I make them for love and manifesting energy I put into them. Any kind of grid you ever see me making, I probably have some crazy mission tasks. Things getting serious, I go make grids. Grids are powerful for manifesting. When I would make a grid every day, it would drastically improve, like, you know, my finances, things I'm doing. You can program it for any kind of intent. It's so powerful. When I grid, I like to leave it overnight. If you're using candles and things like that, don't burn your house down and ever leave candles unattended. But I do make a grid and I leave it, you know, where I set it up overnight. You need to clean your crystals. They are like people. If I never take a salt bath or clean my aura, I'm going to be very, you know, full of residual debris. So it's important that you're cleaning your crystals. For me, you know, there's different ways you can clean and charge them. Some of them end up in my bathtub with me. If they're polished rocks, throw them in your salt bath with you. That's a really good way to clean the crystals too. You can put them in the sun. Some people put them in salt water. Some people bury them in the earth. Some people put them in the moon energy, sun energy, things like that. But make sure that, you know, just the same as a person, you would have to clear the energy. You want to do that for your crystals too. So just energy and intent. There's no right design way to do it. I was a little kid and I was around water a lot growing up, and I was the type of kid that would always be playing with rocks and building like elaborate things. A lot of you guys are parents, and I always say give these kids crystals because they really know how to grid just naturally, know how to play with it. I was telling my brother that he needed to get his space kid some crystals. I was like, he needs rocks, right? They're very powerful. Everyone's like crystals. All right, well, crystals destroyed Atlantis. Tell me they're not powerful. Crystals destroyed Atlantis. I believe that they run my phone. I'm not sure. I think they run a lot of high-tech technology. You see a lot of movies where they talk about crystal holographic technology and things like that, and it's not very far from the truth. So crystals are powerful. They can transcend time and space. They're the ultimate receiver of energy, too. They can be programmed in any way, so they're really powerful. I said you don't need crystals. You don't need candles. You don't need anything. You are the magic. You can remember that. But these are good tools. Really good tools. I look at like tarot cards, crystals, Reiki symbols, things like that as stepping stools that can help connect you better to the spiritual. It was really good for me to be learning how to do cards half my life. Because then it helped. Now I don't need the cards and I can just tune in naturally, but it was a really good tool for me along my journey to learn how to tune into the other realm and things like that. You probably want more sacred space in your house. It's the first thing I did in this house was try to make it some more spiritual space for myself. So I have this room. And, you know, if you want to talk about this room, I have to talk about fairies. I just went to go take my aura pic, and I'm seeing little fairy energies flying all in my picture. And this room has so much elemental energy in it. And I work with a lot of energies, mainly galactic. And I always tell everyone the story that when I was in Shasta, I had to watch one of my videos I did up there. And I was watching, I could see the fairies flying around me, and I had never seen them visually with my own eyes, right? And here I am in the UK, and they have a ton of magic here. This whole place was built on magic. We don't realize that everything was. And that these places were built on some old magic. They have some crazy energy here. They have so much elemental energy here. So, you know, I work with the fairies a lot on my mission because they're aligned with the same thing I am, trying to heal the planet, right? Trying to heal the planet and fix things. So they're very aligned with me as a channel. So that is an energy that I learned how to channel once I came here. I was already channeling, you know, different types of energies, and that's an energy I work with all the time here. There's a lot of elemental energy in the UK. I'm going to Tibet to find the dragons. So I'm learning how to work with different energies. One day I will go there and I will shift over to different elemental energies. There's a lot of magic in nature, right? There's a lot of magic. You want to talk about manifesting or spells, go out into nature, right? That's like the ultimate abundance energy with the earth, and it's powerful on so many levels. So I said, you know, talking about magic, we're going to Stonehenge. You want to talk about pure magic, just the fact that I'm sitting in the UK took more magic than I doubt people could ever grasp. That a lot of people saw my journey up close and personal around me and what it would take to move me to this country. And that was pure magic. I saw so many miracles last year that I could barely wrap my head around it. You know, what the universe is capable of with my limited human understanding perspective, because the universe is just so powerful. This is an energetic force that can move you in the blink of an eye, change your entire circumstances in the blink of an eye. If it is aligned with what you're doing, it can move mountains that you couldn't even believe. The biggest obstacles to align you with your path. To me, that is this magic that people have learned how to harness and direct that energy. You're always going to need energy with magic. It's one and the same to me, despite all the labels and, you know, different cultural things and how people use it in whatever way. I look at these witches as people who had learned how to harness and master energy and things like that. Moving mountains. I'm getting ready to move some right now. So I've decided about, it was a little over a year ago that the universe gave me a choice. I was already on my mission a couple of years. You know, I've been building it, kind of doing what I do every day. And I knew that my abilities would be wasted staying where I was, and that I had an opportunity, I guess you could call it an opportunity, to step into the unknown with just myself and my abilities. I knew that it would be the hardest thing I've ever tried to do. I couldn't even tell you how hard my last year was, how much work I put in, how insane it was. And I had to do that. I knew that I have these abilities and these gifts, and I want to be of service. I want to help the collective heal and be better in whatever way. So I did that. And I couldn't begin to tell you how crazy of a journey that's been to just walk out blindly into the unknown, leaving your whole life behind, right? Walking forward on your path that just took like everything I ever had, and you wouldn't believe the energies that would align to move me to the places that I was meant to be. It was like the day before I came to the UK, I felt like I was never coming here. The day before. And I couldn't describe this energy that ripped through my entire life in California in a minute. And by the next day, I was, on a plane to the UK. And I couldn't even describe how the entire universe had to align, come together to assist me in making this happen. So over the top, I could just see everything aligning around me to make it happen. When I describe the energy that sometimes I feel in my life that's beginning to approach me now, because we're going to Stonehenge, right? We're gonna go bring a whole group of light workers from around the world to these rocks. And when I describe this energy, it's kind of terrifying to me. It's so powerful, but it's so creative and destructive at the same time. You ever had something new start in your life and it's like your whole world just crumbles too simultaneously, Maybe you're getting moved forward, whatever it is, it's just so powerful, this energy to me. I see a lot of destruction around the Matrix. We see these fires, right? Earth, wind, and fire destroying the Matrix. That's what this energy is to me. That it will destroy the old and creating the new. And so a lot of people get hung up on that destructive energy, that chaos energy swirling around this Matrix, not understanding that when anything is destroyed, something new is being created for us. When I've been on this spiritual mission, my quest my whole life. I just wanted to find God, I guess, when I was asleep, right? This spiritual quest that's led me so far on this journey, and that energy is God to me. It's as close as you can get to the universe, right? That conscious, infinite energy all around us that makes up everyone and everything in this matrix, and people have these notions of good and evil and light and dark, not understanding it's one and the same. It's all divine energy underneath all of it. Get out into nature during some crazy space storm energy, right? Go outside today. Go outside today from noon to 6. Go on a hike. Go get outside. Go to some nice places in nature. And you can't get more spiritual than that energy ripping through the planet. You can't get any closer to God or divinity than that force of energy that's going to rip through this planet today on all new levels. To me, you just can't. You can't in any way. This energy is intelligent, it is aware, it is conscious, it is communicating with us and guiding us in every aspect of our life. It is viewing things from within and without, right? It is this omnipresent energy. This is ancient knowledge that I see that these people carry too. I can tell. I can read people real good at this point. Energy, right? That I see some souls around here that are so ancient and carry such knowledge, and we've been so mind fucked coming into this matrix, right? They really did a number on us in terms of what we believe to be true about reality, tearing us down in every way. In every way. And so now we're just kind of getting to our right space of mind for all this too. I believe that when you're asleep though, you're not consciously in control of your reality like you are when you're awake. I describe it like a lucid dream. If you're asleep in your dream and just having a regular dream at night, you're just going to be responding to whatever you're dreaming. When you're lucid in the dream, you can control the experience and navigate it, right? So everyone doesn't understand that when we were asleep, that while it still may have been a manifest reality, we had contracted experiences we had to do before we could wake up. And until you wake up, once you wake up though, you're much more conscious and aware, and you can really control that energy, direct your reality, learn how to manifest everything I'm pretty much into. So it's a good day to play with your crystals. It's a good day to charge them. Go put them in the sun. Go put them in the sun. It's ascension activation energy outside. Ascension upgrade energy. When I go to Stonehenge and I bring my crystal necklace and I charge it there, and I'm only there like an hour when they let us in the rocks when they're open. And when I come home, it was so charged up that it was shorting down my whole camera system. That it was shutting down my feeds. I couldn't wear it on live feed. It was like doing electronic kind of disturbances. So, you know, your crystals, you go ahead and put them in the moon, they'll stay full of energy for like 3 weeks, a month, till the next moon. So make sure that you're for sure using these energies to, you know, charge your crystals, charge yourself. We're charging our phone a lot, charge yourself too. I'm in this group when I don't feel like working, if you didn't notice how I do my videos, right? So I don't really feel like going to work yet or doing my videos. I'm just kind of feeling out my day. I did a lot of cleaning instead here. I went ahead and cleaned my house again and did a lot of saging as usual. Make sure you're saging more with these energy shifts. We're having a lot of vibrations we put out just by the things we're thinking about, our energy all day. This group's looking awesome. More memes. I want to build this group fast, but I always need everyone to help me with it. I can never do anything on my own, right? I'm smart enough to know I can never do anything on my own. So for sure, make sure you guys throw some of your favorite memes up here. Share some posts. Leave some love. I'm trying to get people to start sharing the posts. So throw some posts up for sure. I was loving it. Add your friends. We doubled the member list. Almost doubled. We're like 10 off. We almost doubled the member list in a day though. Or 2 days. And I'm Facebook banned, so that's a good task. So I love it. I'll for sure be using this space a lot with some stuff that I do. I mean, I don't identify as a witch, but clearly I'm doing some witchy things over here, right? It's not like I don't identify with it either. So, like I said, I'm in the UK now. I'm married. I always say careful who you merge your reality with. I knew this was an awful idea before we did it, if you know me, right? I was like, no. No. So, I'm getting to put my spiritual understanding to good use. I have a husband. The cops keep, he's a targeted individual for sure. It's my worst nightmare to watch too. It's everything that you could imagine wrong with this matrix. When they use these systems to target and harass and stalk people. Entity stalking. So I get to put my spiritual skills to use, right? I had cops knocking on my door, calling my house, harassing me. They put a house arrest thing on them. And then as soon as they put that EMF frequency box in my house, it started making us sick. He got real sick. I'm sleeping with the EMF thing in my bed, right? I'm not sleeping with an EMF frequency device in my bed. So I'm able to put my spiritual gifts to use here, right? I put like black salt around my front steps. I did like a line of black salt. I do heavy duty barriers around my house. I tell you guys, you can go ahead and visualize your house in a bubble, a white dome. I like to use white and blue. Blue is galactic. It keeps you invisible. You want to be invisible in the matrix, put yourself in blue light. Alright, so I like blue and white. You can go ahead and visualize a dome around your house. I had to do serious free will boundaries. I mean, I have government officials stalking us, right? So what I do is free will barriers. Free will is the most powerful tool in our arsenal that we have here. It's all we have too. That we are co-creators having a divine experience, and we can create any reality that we want. We have free will. So if anyone ever has any kind of negative spiritual stuff going on, right? Witch bitches, entities stalking, low vibe family people keep calling you, I don't even know. Anything, right? I like to put free will barriers around myself and others. I make it known that I don't want any negative energies or entities in my house or in my reality. And so it is, right? I do not want any negative entities or energies in my house or near my reality. So when the cops are trying to jack us up, it makes it harder for them. They can't come near me. They can't come near me because of my barriers, and it is against my free will, and they will. And when they do, if someone is to break that barrier, which will happen, I assure you, it puts things on a new level galactically. You have guides, you have angels, you have an entire galactic team assisting you. So many energies I couldn't even tell you. Every ancestor from the beginning of time is invested in your journey and what you're doing here. So you have powerful assistance in the other realm. When people violate free will, which we see happen here a lot, it puts things on a new level. It's why we're here as well. That if they weren't chemtrailing the sky finally and amping up what they do around here, we wouldn't be here as light workers, even having this conversation. But I put a post up this morning about that. I say when they're spraying the sky, they're taking away our right to choose. It's one thing with vaccines. These people are choosing to do that. They can act like they don't have a choice, but they're going to choose it. They're going to choose the drugs. They're going to choose the vaccines. But when they're spraying my sky with aluminum, they're taking away my consent, my free will right to say no on so many levels. Use your free will for everything. Everything. You want to talk magic? Right there. Powerful. Good morning. Free will barriers, energetic barriers, protection, crystals. Everything we should be doing with this ascension. We need to get adept in protection. How can people that are asleep protect themselves when they can't see the spiritual and have no idea about the natures of reality? They can't. They're defenseless. The people that have their third eyes open and are coming into their abilities need to really protect the people around us just as much as we need to heal them too. Use the violet flame more. I'm going to keep putting posts up about it. You can visualize. Visualization is powerful. I just told you about putting yourself in a bubble. I do that every night before I go to sleep because I have crazy astral encounters. Every night, right? Bubble, protection. It works so good. My husband was having bad dreams. I gridded the bed and I do that every night. Never had a bad dream again. So if your kids are having nightmares, things like that, put them in white light. Purple is powerful for any type of negativity. You hate your job, low vibe 3D job, go ahead. You can't sage the place, but you can go ahead and just visualize entire buildings burning in the violet flame. I have to do that here in the UK a lot because I'm not allowed to sage like courthouses and all the stuff that I go into as a light worker. So I can bring the violet flame into these places. You can just, visualize yourself burning in purple fire or visualize an entire building in it. I do that often for people's houses as well. Anyone with any kind of negative, any kind of issues. I like to use sage in the violet flame in one every day when I sage my house. You can just either say a prayer and ask the universe to put your house in the violet flame or visualize it. Visualization is very powerful and healing. Good. Violet flame, the whole yoga class. 3D family events. You got to go to your in-laws and they won't sage like me. It will work to an extent. You might want to recommend the sage anyway. I have my doors and windows open though. It's 50 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit right now. 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now. It's warming up. I'm trying to make it hot as hell before my friends come to the rocks here. We're having heat wave anomalies in the UK, but it was snowing in Australia. Can we say pole shift? They're telling me it's gonna snow again and get cold, and I don't think so. I think that maybe the poles are moving a little and that the seasons are changing and it's just spring here already. Yes, your guides and your angels. I didn't know this when I was asleep and I went to, I had some of my first spiritual encounters just after awakening. And I have this medium tell me, you need to ask your angels to help you or they won't help you. It was like a light bulb went off in my head and I was like, that explains so much. My angels have not been helping me this entire time. You would think I have to ask them? I just thought they knew. Ask your angels and guides for more help. Ask them. Ask them to activate you, to upgrade you. Ask them for downloads. Ask them for more help. They're here for no other purpose other than to serve you on your mission, your entire life, and your entire journey. So ask for more help. We always think we need people to save us. How many people go to another person? Please save me, right? I see that a lot. Please save me. We have to remember non-interference. I won't get into that this video, but we need to remember non-interference. But how come people aren't praying to their angels in the universe like me to save them? When I have impossible situations here, prayer is powerful. You want to talk about magic? I've always been very tuned in through prayer. And, when things are beyond my control, like this situation here in the UK, all I can do is pray to the universe to resolve these things for me. And it is powerful. I'm reading these comments. So ask for more help. For sure. Ask your angels and guides. I told you guys that when I had a real serious situation in California, I just gave my... here's my mission objective list and I quit my job if you don't give it to me now, and it was a lot more effective. It was like within like an hour I had the whole list and I was like all right. So I like to, when I'm trying to manifest, lists are very powerful and we have a lot of thoughts. We're telepathically tuned in, but we haven't gotten to that place, humanity yet. And so we're naturally telepathically tuned in. How are your guides and your angels and the other realm communicating with you telepathically? How many thoughts are we having in a day? I know we think we're so clear with what we want and what we need around here, but lists are powerful too. You'll notice people write their spells down, make lists. For sure, make manifesting lists. Make lists of things that you need. Give it to the universe. Hi, Mitch. I do every morning, because I mean I have kind of a crazy job. I deal with a lot of people any given day, and so every morning I call on Saint Germain, who, I mean, I feel real. Out of any, I don't pray to any other like deities we might know, right? Things like that, but I do, and I feel a strong connection with that. When I was up on Shasta, they had, you know, Lumerian crystals everywhere and Saint Germain everywhere, and I never felt more at home, right? With Saint Germain, the violet flame everywhere, and I loved it. So I use the violet flame a lot. It's probably one of my stronger colors in my aura. Well, we see a lot of violet flame in these aura pictures too, and people are just naturally carrying that energy and not understanding it is your energy. That we knew we weren't going to be the elite, and that we weren't going to come here and be millionaires. And that we weren't going to be the elite class's life, and that we weren't going to come do the American dream, and that we would probably be broke as fuck here. Right? The prison planet. That we probably would be where we're at now, but we were okay with it. We're coming with just our energy and nothing else. That's how sure of our abilities we were. On every level, so we're kind of getting back to where we're okay with just our energy again on so many levels. 5 a.m. It's like noon here. So use crystals. I like to grid the rooms I'm in the most. So I grid my bedroom. I like to put I put crystals in a row on my windowsill, and when that happens, you know, the sun will come in your window, and the sun will hit that, you know, row of crystals, and the light will reflect off it, and it creates sort of a light barrier around, you know, if you put them on your windowsills. I don't have enough crystals to do my whole house, clearly. It's kind of a big house, so I do my bedroom, and I grid around my bed. I do the windowsills, and just any areas like that. You might want to grid your house. You might want to put tourmaline around your property, or some type of EMF crystals in your house too. I have a lot of EMF crystals here, like I said, but it doesn't matter. We're on our phones all day. We have televisions. We have all this Wi-Fi everywhere, and it's like microwave rays all the time. You might want to get some EMF crystals for near your bed or where you are a lot. For sure, crystal your house, grid your house. Your house is like your sacred space. We don't want negativity in our house. This is my quarantined area. It's all calm. If I get sick of Facebook, I can just turn my phone off. And I have my little space, and it's all blissful and happy and tranquil. So, you know, we should be treating our body like a temple, but our house like a temple too. This is, you know, where we make our magic. This is our sanctuary where we chill. You know, we're there most of the time. So for sure, your house has a vibrational frequency. You can do things like put more plants in your house, wind chimes, spiritual tapestries, candles, crystals, things like that. And it will for sure bring up the entire frequency of your house. I'm always burning stuff here, whether it's incense, burning stuff, right? Whether it's incense, sage though, I'm always keeping the energy real clear here. Like I said, I'm always letting a lot of fresh air in too. If it's winter time where you live and you're cooped up in your house, the energy gets real stagnant. Try to get some fresh air in, you know, when it's warmest in the day. I'm getting off of here. I really don't want to even do a real video today. I'm like, oh God, but I was like that yesterday and I did it. So I'm going to try to push through it. But I'm pretty sure the UK is getting that this incoming wave of energy is hitting right now. And it's going to be really intense here in the UK, at least from noon to 6, probably where you live too around that time. So it is a good time to move around. When I lay around a lot, I don't feel so good in this energy, so it's a better time to try to get outside, get some fresh air. I was getting lots of fresh air yesterday. Get some fresh air, get outside, move around a little bit, because you'll feel a lot better than if you're laying around. It will help you process the energy. Drink a ton of water today. That's my big thing that it's like getting Reiki. It's like getting a blast of Reiki, right? The planet is getting blasted with Reiki. We know if you do any kind of energy work, it's a good idea to drink a ton of water for 3 days after. I do a good water detox. I'm on the water detox every day around here doing Ascension. But people aren't going to drink enough water, and the whole world's about to go crazy. I saw it starting to happen last night. So if everyone would just drink some more water and ground, we'd be able to handle the energies a lot better. So drink a ton of water. You know, your DNA is getting worked on right now. We're going through a lot of upgrades, and it will really help you so you don't get ascension symptoms. I just am convinced that anyone getting ascension symptoms, myself included, I get them all the time, isn't drinking enough water. Ascension flu, all right, drink more water. Take your vitamins. It's all we can really do for this. But we have that magic component that we're seeking, that energy hitting the planet right now. It is the best day for magic until the new moon. It's the best day for magic. There's only 3 days that are good for magic in the next, month, the way I see it. So this is the best day for magic. There's magic all around us. The universe is here just waiting to, move us to the timeline we want with our craziest dreams. So make sure you're really doing a lot of daydreaming too about impossible things you would love to be doing.